Hello, everyone. Today, I want to take you to one of the most painful, dramatic, and strangely beautiful moments in Alex and Tuna's story. A moment that once you hear it will make your heart tighten a little, because in the middle of an engagement ceremony full of flashy things Alex never agreed to, in the middle of fake smiles, cold insults, and a fragile heart being crushed right in front of the man she loved, Tuna ran. She ran out of that house, ran away from the humiliation she never deserved, ran away from the man who hurt her so deeply she could barely breathe. And that night, in a quiet park under a faint yellow streetlight, Alex found her. The moment Alex knelt down in front of Tuna, that moment changed the entire direction of their story in a way no one expected. And if you think this was just another argument, get ready, because what happens next will keep you from looking away even for a second. Let's step into that fateful night where a wounded heart was ready to let go, and a man finally realized who he was most afraid of losing. Don't forget to share your thoughts at the end of the video, because this story will touch the hearts of many. The silence in that luxurious room was so thick that even the ticking of the wall clock seemed to stop. The warm yellow lights fell over bouquets of roses Alex never asked for, making the room feel even more suffocating, even more unfamiliar, like a stage someone built for him without his consent. Alex was still stunned by what he had just heard. He tried to step toward Tuna, the only person he wanted to explain to, the only one he wanted to protect. But Mai was faster. She moved up with a soft smile that looked gentle on the outside, but felt like a blade wrapped in silk. Before Alex could say a word, she grabbed his hand possessively. "You don't need to say anything, Alex." Her voice was light, almost airy, but carried a cold sense of victory. Tuna already knows her place. One sentence, yet it sliced through the air like a knife. Tuna flinched. Her narrow shoulders trembled, but she stayed silent. Her silence, once gentle and warm, shattered into 1,000 sharp pieces, cutting through the room and straight into Alex's chest. Behind Mai, her mother stood with crossed arms and a satisfied, domineering expression. "Settle this quickly. It's for the best," she said, every word hitting the floor like a stone. "You're a CEO. Your image matters more than anything. People like Tuna will never be part of our family." Those words were cold, blunt, cruel, so harsh they made the whole room tilt. Alex could only hear the pounding of his own heart. But the real pain came from seeing Tuna clutching the small lunchbox in her hands. A simple meal she had prepared for him that morning. Something ordinary, meaningful. Yet in this moment, it became the cruelest symbol of how her quiet love was being crushed under arrogance and prejudice. Tuna lowered her head, her breath unsteady. She didn't answer, didn't defend herself, didn't fight back. And it was that silence that nearly drove Alex insane. He finally burst out his voice, shaking with anger and shock. "Enough!" Mai jerked back, her cold fingers slipping out of his as he pushed her hand away. "I haven't agreed to anything." His voice echoed through the room. "I haven't promised anyone a single thing, and I will never let anyone insult Tuna in front of me." Mai's face drained of color. Her mother frowned, thrown off by how fiercely Alex reacted. Alex stepped toward Tuna, but she took one step back. Not because she was scared, not because she felt ashamed, but because her heart had just been cut so deeply She no longer knew where she belonged. "Alex." Her voice trembled, ready to break. "It's okay. I understand. I'm leaving." That short sentence crushed him. He reached out instinctively, but Tuna avoided his eyes. She turned away, forcing her steps to stay slow, calm, steady, because she knew if she moved even a little too fast, her tears would fall. The door seemed to stretch farther, getting more distant with every step she took. She didn't wait for him to explain, didn't ask questions, didn't blame him, because what she had just witnessed was already enough to tear her apart. Alex stood there helpless, watching the woman he loved most walk away from him. "Tuna, please, don't go." The words stayed stuck in his throat, never reaching her. In that room, filled with flowers someone else ordered for him, in an engagement he never agreed to. Under the calculating gaze of Mai and the arrogance of her mother, Alex felt for the first time the full weight of suffocation chaos and the terrifying realization that he had lost control of his own life. And the worst part was the fear of losing the one person he never wanted to lose. The door closed behind Tuna. That soft click was tiny, barely a sound at all, like someone exhaling. But in that moment, Alex felt his heart being crushed and dropped straight into a void. Silence fell instantly. A heavy, cold, steel-like silence. A silence that said one thing clearly. The woman he loved had just walked out of his life. Mai stepped forward, her footsteps so light they sounded like a snake sliding across the marble floor. Her face tried to look gentle and concerned, but the triumph at the corner of her lips gave her away. "Alex, don't be upset," she said in that sugary, fake sweet voice. "Tuna's always been fragile, overly emotional. She'll come back. People like her. They can't stay away from someone like you for long." Alex turned his head toward Mai. His eyes were colder than steel. So cold that Mai froze as if someone had thrown ice water on her. "Mai," Alex said quietly, but his voice was sharp enough to slice the air in half. "You know exactly what you just did." Her smile disappeared instantly. "You arranged this engagement on your own. You ordered the flowers, invited guests, hired photographers, all without asking me. And worst of all," Alex clenched his fist, "you talked to Tuna like she wasn't even human." May's mother swept forward, waving her hand like she owned every life in that room. "Alex," she declared, "everything we've done is for you. You must understand a girl like Tuna, with no family, no education, and a child in tow, can't enter our household. You're a CEO. You belong with Mai. This marriage has been planned very carefully." Alex looked at her. His gaze was no longer just cold, it carried pain. The right choice. For who, he asked, each word hitting the room like a stone. "For me, or for the reputation you two care so much about?" Mai flushed red, furious, and stunned that Alex dared say that in front of her mother. "You," she stammered, "you and I grew up together. Both families want us to get married. Why would you choose someone like her? Someone who has nothing except a child and some blurry past." Alex closed his eyes for one brief second, just enough to steady himself. Then he opened them, more certain than ever. Because Tuna, he said slowly, has never asked anything from me. She has never used me as an excuse to belittle someone else. She has never needed to pretend to be perfect. She just is who she is. She's kind, genuine, and strong enough to stand on her own. Those words hit Mai's pride like a hammer. She burst into tears, but they weren't tears of heartbreak. They were the tears of someone losing a battle. So what now? Mai snarled, tears streaming down, but her eyes full of venom. You're going to run after her. Make a spectacle of yourself. Alex, she doesn't belong in your world. Alex didn't answer. He didn't have to. His silence in that moment was more terrifying than anything he could have said. He turned toward the door Tuna had walked out of. His eyes darkened so deep, it looked like the whole sky was falling inside them. Mai's mother panicked and grabbed his arm. If you walk out that door, she warned, her voice coated with fake affection, hiding a sharp threat, you'll lose a prestigious marriage, a bright future, a powerful alliance people would kill to have. Alex remained still. Just one breath. One breath long enough to choose between pressure and his heart. There is nothing prestigious, Alex said, his voice dropping like thunder, about a marriage built on lies, manipulation, and contempt for the woman I love. He grabbed his coat, his hand trembling slightly, but his steps full of resolve. Alex, Alex, stop right there, Mai's mother shouted, but he didn't turn back. His footsteps grew faster, louder, like he was racing against time, racing against the pain he had just seen in Tuna's eyes. Mai collapsed to the floor, eyes wide with disbelief. No, no way. She gasped like someone being strangled. He chose her. He chose someone like her instead of me. But Alex was already gone. He could hear only one thing, the pounding in his chest urging him. Find her before it's too late. Night fell quickly, as if the sky itself wanted to hide the pain of the girl who had run from that suffocating house. Tuna walked aimlessly. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't know where she would stop. All she knew was, if she stayed there even 1 second longer, she would collapse in front of all of them. Eventually, her tired feet took her to a small park. It was empty, quiet, lit only by a flickering yellow street lamp swaying in the wind. Tuna sat down on a cold stone bench. She wrapped her arms around herself, trying to hold on to the last bit of warmth left in the night. The wind blew hard. Hard enough that she couldn't tell if her tears were from the cold or from the hurt. Why? She whispered, voice cracking. Am I always the one who doesn't belong? The question dropped to the ground like a small stone, small but heavy enough to land straight in her chest. She saw it all again, the engagement table covered in flowers, Mai's smug smile, Mai's mother's contemptuous stare, the icy words telling her she wasn't worthy. All of it scraping across her heart like 1,000 blades. Tuna had never wanted to take anything from anyone, never wanted to steal a place in anyone's life. All she ever wanted was a little peace. And even that wasn't allowed to be hers. She tightened her grip on the small lunchbox, the one she brought for Alex with so much love. Something so simple, yet it ended in humiliation right in front of him. Maybe I really don't deserve anything, she murmured, tears falling onto her already freezing hands. Alex finds her. Alex drove through every street he could think of, headlights sweeping across corners and sidewalks. His hands were trembling on the steering wheel. Every second that passed felt like another cut to his heart. "Please let me find you. Tuna." His voice was hoarse from worry. Then as he passed the park, he saw a small figure under the yellow light. A silhouette so familiar it felt carved into his memory. He hit the brakes, jumped out of the car, and almost ran. "Tuna?" She looked up. Her eyes were red and swollen like dim, fading embers. But when she saw Alex, her eyes didn't brighten. They hurt even more. "Why? Why are you here?" Her voice was thin, fragile, barely a sound. Alex walked toward her slowly, as if moving too fast might make her disappear. "I came to apologize," he said softly, but each word carried a weight even the wind paused to hear. "I'm sorry I let you go through that." Tuna turned her face away. "Alex, you don't understand." She gripped the edge of her coat to keep herself from shaking. "I don't belong in your world. I don't come from a rich family. I don't have status. I have nothing that makes me worthy to stand next to you." Her voice broke. "And today, I realized I'm someone who can be replaced at any moment." The words sliced straight into Alex's chest. He could barely breathe. Without a second thought, he dropped to his knees in front of her. The night breeze was cold, but Alex's voice was warm enough to make her look at him. "Don't ever say that again." He looked up, his eyes firm but gentle. "To me, you are the one person I can't afford to lose." Tuna froze, her breath catching. Alex swallowed hard, fighting the emotion in his throat. He continued, each sentence sounding like it took everything in him to say, "I can't control what they think, but I can control my own heart. And my heart." He reached out and gently touched her cold hands. "Chooses you." 1 second, 2, 3. Tuna tightened her grip on the lunchbox, fighting to steady her breath. "Alex, I'm scared." Her voice sounded like breaking glass. "I'm so scared. Scared of being abandoned again. Scared of trying, only to be pushed out again." Alex took her hand softly and placed it over his chest, where his heart was beating hard enough to speak for him. "Then let me be the one who protects you," he said, voice low but certain. "Let me take the hits for you. Let me stand in front of you in every place that ever hurt you. I promise I won't let anyone hurt you again. Not even once." The night wind swept through the park. Leaves rustled. And somehow, the whole world felt like it had gone quiet, saving this moment for the two of them. For the first time in a long, cold night, through tears and heartbreak, inside Tuna's shattered chest, a tiny spark appeared, a fragile but warm flicker of hope, just like Alex's hand holding hers.